So Thunderbolts is not only the latest entry of the MCU, but it is also the final film of Phase 5 of the MCU, directed by Schreier. In the film, we follow a group of anti-heroes who, after they find themselves ensnared in a death trap, they must work together and embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their past. Before I continue on with today's video, I just wanted to say, welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button to them as a feature video, whether it's a feature review, a reaction, a top 5, a top 10, or whatever I've coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because believe me when I say this, guys, you are not going to miss the cool stuff I have coming your way. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, by the way, welcome back, everybody. You have no idea how happy I am to see your faces once again. And let's also start our conversation below. Have you guys seen Thunderbolts yet? What did you think of Thunderbolts? Did you like the film? Did you dislike the film? If you haven't seen the film, what are your hopes about this movie? What are your fears about the Thunderbolts movie? Let me know below. Alrighty, guys, so let's get into Thunderbolts.
Excellent!
When Thunderbolts was first announced, this was one of the few MCU projects that I wasn't all that excited for. And I think that stems down to the fact that, at least for me, these were characters that, besides, I'd want to say, Red Guardian and also Elena, portrayed by David Harbour and Florence Pugh, the other characters in this movie, I just really didn't find myself all that excited to see again. Ghost, U.S. Agent, not to mention it as well, I didn't really know much about Sentry. I didn't really know much about, well, one particular person, to which, I mean, come on. If you didn't think that this particular person was going to last this movie, let's be real here, guys. It was just one of the few MCU projects that I was just going like, I mean, this could be good, could be bad, but I don't know about this one. We'll see what goes. But man, I gotta tell you all, this movie not only surprised me in so many ways, but I gotta tell you all, I really dug Thunderbolts like a lot. The performances in Thunderbolts I thought were great. Florence Pugh I thought was terrific as Yelena. David Harbour, I gotta tell you all, David Harbour is so freaking good as Red Guardian. I love him as this character so much, and I can't wait to see where he goes in Doomsday once that comes out next year. I love these two together. I love their banter. I love their chemistry. They are so great together with their father-daughter relationship. And not gonna let you guys why I say this. There has been this movie where Florence Pugh just has such a great moment with Red Guardian. No lie, I actually almost teared up. Like, it was such a great hard-hitting moment, which, by the way, I'll get into that specific sentence later on in this video. One particular character that I found myself really loving in this movie was U.S. Agent John Walker, portrayed by Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell, I thought, was great in this movie. Like, he really got me to care about his character in this film, because if I remember correctly, I didn't exactly love Falcon the Winter Soldier. I thought it was a show that, while it started off great and it had a lot of potential, the way it ended, I just felt just wrapped up way too many loose ends so quickly. And the character of John Walker in the show, I thought a lot of potential, but his character, besides him having such a great moment, I mean, such an awesome moment in that show, I felt like that John Walker U.S. Agent just didn't have that much to do in the show, personally, for me. But here in Thunderbolts, not only is he given so much more in this movie, but Wyatt Russell has such a great moment in this movie where I was just going like, you got me, I'm sold, like, you got me, dude. Someone else that I did not think I was gonna grow attached to was Ghost, to which I can't remember her name right now. I'm pulling up her name right now because I feel like it's disrespectful if I don't remember her name, so give me 1 second. My apologies in advance because I know I'm gonna butcher your name, but just know, ma'am, that you were so good in this film. Hannah john-kamen, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. That's who plays Ghost from Ant-Man the Wasp, who returns in this film. I loved her in this movie, and I do apologize that I'm being very vague, but I loved her character development in this movie, and once again, where she goes, I thought was just fantastic. Something else that I gotta talk about that I loved about this movie was not only this cast of characters and this team, but I love the fact that this movie took characters that I thought that I legitimately I wasn't gonna care about, like, U.S. Agent John Walker, Ghost, and another particular character. There are characters that are in this movie that got me to actually care for them, and there is one particular reason to which I'll mention this a little bit. This movie got me to care about them, and I attribute to not only the great performances of Wyatt Russell and Hannah john-kamen, but not to mention as well Jake Schreier's directing, to which I'll go into in just a few moments. One more person that I gotta talk about is Lewis Pullman as Bob Sentry. Lewis Pullman, I thought, was terrific in this movie, and once again, this is a movie into which I didn't expect that this character was gonna go in this direction, in particular with Void. This movie goes in very unexpected directions with its characters, and I loved that. I absolutely loved that. One of the things that I absolutely loved about this movie was the directing by Jake Schreier, and not to mention it as well, the direction that the story goes in. All that I was expecting out of this movie was just another typical MCU flick where it had the humor, the formula, the characters going into a certain direction with their arcs and ending with just, explosions and all that stuff. The direction that the story went into with these characters blindsided me completely. Thunderbolts, more than anything else, is a character-driven, story-driven MCU film with some really hard-hitting moments, but does it have the action that you would love from an MCU film? Yes, it does. What Thunderbolts instead goes for in terms of action is these harder-hitting, darker moments that these characters go through, because here's the thing, guys. These characters have all done very dark and very, very bad things in their lives and their character moments. This movie, man, goes into some darker moments. Jake Schreier, if you ask me, directed easily the most different, the most interesting, and easily, without a doubt, the most layered MCU film that I have seen in quite some time. Thunderbolt is a movie that is much more interested in taking deep dives into these characters' darker past, especially when it gets to a certain moment. It goes into a direction to which, no joke, I was telling this to my buddy, if this movie goes in where I think it's gonna go, this is gonna be really, really cool. It did, and let me tell you all, where it goes to, this, I thought, was really, really cool. The action sequences are so well filmed, they're so well framed, and there is a bit in this movie where you see such a great moment happen that legitimately almost had me clapping. Like, it was such a great moment. And not only did I find that this movie was a very well shot film, but the score I thought was really, really good too.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Now, with that being said, do I find Thunderbolts to be the game changer of the MCU? No, I don't find it to be a game changer. There are some moments where I was like, okay, this is gonna happen here, this is gonna happen here, and this is gonna happen here, and this is gonna make this happen. There are other jokes where it definitely tries really hard to put in a joke, and well, this doesn't work as well as it probably could have worked. And there are some moments where I wished where it dived just a tad bit more into these characters, and there are some characters that I feel like got the shorter end of the stick in terms of the development, but there are some characters where I just wish we got just a tad bit more, just like a tad bit more.
And here we go.
So overall, while I don't think it's a game changer per se, Thunderbolts went into a completely different direction than I expected, and I dug it so much for that reason. This is such a damn good character-driven film with some hard-hitting moments, and not to mention some sweet set pieces. All in all, I'm gonna give Thunderbolts a 4.25 out of 5. I walked into this movie not really having the most of expectations, but man, did this movie surprise me, but I dug it so much. Oh, and also, I almost forgot to mention this. Stay for the credits. There is something huge That's all I'm going to say about that. I hope you enjoyed my review of Thunderbolts. If so, please hit the like button, or if you dislike this review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see in my previous 2 videos, please click right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.